Hey, howdy, folks. Matt Outdoorsman here. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you spent time with your people and your loved ones. I had to work 16 hours, but that's nothing new to me. My line of work, you don't really get holidays off too often, so I make the best of it. And I was able to spend a couple hours with my people before I started my shift. With that said, before I hop into today's topic, I want to address something real quick, and that is trolls, folks. Trolls. I'm not really a social media guy, outside of FruitTube here. I do have a Twitter account, and that's really about it. And speaking of Twitter, if Apple gets their way, they're going to be canceling Twitter. They're thinking about canceling Twitter, and protest to Elon Musk, basically turning that platform into a free speech platform. So, yeah, again, haters of free speech, right? Well, okay, Apple, do your thing. You know what? Because I can live without Twitter too. But yeah, you see trolls everywhere on social media, and I've experienced a couple troll comments on my videos I've been making here on FruitTube. So, listen, not making you people famous here, but I am going to address you guys real quick, all right? And I say real quick because I don't want to waste any fucking time on you shitbags. So trolls, here's my question. While you're sitting in your parents' basement, getting golden showers from your mom and trolling these prepper community channels, my question to you, okay, is why? Why do you bother getting on these channels and making these dickbag comments towards preppers? I mean, what's the objective here? What's the goal? That's my question to you. I deal with the dredges of society every day. So I surround myself around a bunch of fucking pedophiles like yourself, you trolls, and I'm curious. I want to pick your brain on it. Why bother? Why bother trolling prepper channels and leaving some of the comments that you leave? I understand, usually you're out, scoping out playgrounds and stuff and sitting in school zones, but right now you probably got that ankle bracelet on and you're on home confinement. And like I said, you're getting golden showers from mama down there in the basement. But find something else to do that's constructive, perhaps make your own channel, see, us preppers, we're a tight community. We're close-knit. And what we're doing is we're helping each other out and educating each other and passing along useful tips and useful information on how to prep. So I'm pretty much going to leave it all at that. I actually really shouldn't be trying to make it famous right now, but this is my response to the troll comments. All right. I'm not going to comment back. I haven't. All right. I'm just addressing you now with it. If you have nothing productive to contribute to the channel, all right, go find something else to do. All right. And if you can't do that, then email me your address. All right. I'll email you mine. All right, and I'll even pay your gas money for you in Ice Cream Man's America. And we can meet up. and we will have a constructive conversation. All right? I'll leave it at that. But anyway, folks, with that said, let's hop into today's topic. I want to talk about martial law and what should preppers get ready for if a martial law is declared. It's a very high, it's a possibility, I'll put it that way. With the way things are going in today's society, if you just look around at the past couple years of events that has happened in this country, with elections, with events that have taken place that has caused uprisings of that nature, and there's been talk of martial law that's been brought up in conversations. So I actually have a simple definition right here in front of me of what martial law involves. Okay, so martial law, it involves a temporary substitution. All right, we're going to get to that in a minute, of military authority for civilian rule, and is usually invoked in time of war, rebellion, or natural disaster. Okay? When martial law is in effect, the military commander of an area has unlimited authority to make or enforce laws. All right? So that's pretty much martial law dumbed down in a simple definition. Okay? So let's go back to the part where it says martial law involves temporary substitution of military authority for civilian rule. All right. So when you think of temporary authority, let's think of like a natural disaster, right? Let's think of Hurricane Katrina back in 2005. Everybody likes to use that example because it's something that has happened in fairly recent history. And, if you remember what happened down in Louisiana when, the military and law enforcement pretty much took over, we remember hearing stories and reading stories about confiscations and door-to-door confiscations of weapons and other supplies, right? So, but after the dust settled, that martial law was lifted, all right? But let's talk about a total collapse of society, okay? Like total shit hits the fan, everything's just breaking bad. Maybe like a grid down situation that is just like an EMP or whatever. Like the grid goes down, society collapses, martial law is invoked, all right? So this is a long-term thing, okay? Why should preppers, A, be worried, or B, get ready to make some hard decisions during martial law, okay? And going to my notes here, I found some pretty good intel on this, is that, like we said here in the definition, during martial law, local military commanders can confiscate food, water, and supplies to distribute to others in the community. And they can confiscate firearms. So, with that said, if you are known to be a prepper, and this is why, we talk about that gray man term in the prepping community, where you want to fit in and you don't want to stick out, all right? But if you want to show it off to all your neighbors, okay, that you do prep, all right, then you're just putting a fucking bullseye in your back, right? And, that's going to draw some attention, and then the military is going to come knocking on the door, all right? Now, with that said, maybe you are gray man. Maybe you are blended in with the rest, okay? That's really not going to stop the military from knocking on your door, taking a look in your home and seeing what you have, all right? So that brings us to having good operational security, all right, or OPSEC, all right, OPSEC, folks. Operational security, well, what is that? Well, it's basically keeping your prep secret from people that you don't trust. You don't want to advertise the fact that you're a prepper, stuff of that nature, all right? Having a plan, a what to do kind of list, OPSEC is basically, that's what it is defined. Just don't become a target, folks, during martial law, okay? That's having good OPSEC, all right? So there you go. So societal collapse. Let's say you have a neighbor, right, that has different political views than you. Let's say you're the type of guy that has that "don't tread on me" flag hanging outside, on your front porch, or you got the American flag that's hanging outside your front porch. And let's say your neighbor has the ice cream man flag and other different kinds of flags hanging outside in his front porch. Well, obviously you two have different political views, and for the most part, it's the far left, it's those leftists that will go into attack mode on you, that's just the way it is, unfortunately, right? I keep to myself. I do not have anything hanging out in front of my house, so, I kind of avoid that stuff. But, again, let's say that you do and your neighbor sees that. So there you go. You might find yourself under increased scrutiny because of that, So again, gray man, blending in, it all goes hand in hand with martial law declaration, right? So, folks, it's important to keep your preps concealed. A good rule of thumb is if you're going to decide to bug in during a martial law declaration, okay, you need to find a place to hide your preps, whether that is some kind of closet, a different room in a house, maybe in your shed or buried in your backyard. I don't know. Whatever, pick your poison, okay? But let's say you get that knock on a door, okay? And it's the military. They want to come in and have a look around. What do? Well, maybe you should take some of your preps and put them out in plain view, Maybe the military will confiscate that, all right? But I think, and hear me out here, I think if it's better to keep a couple things out in plain view to hopefully prevent these guys from tearing your house apart and doing a more thorough search of the premises, okay? So keeping them out in plain view might deter them from doing so. And of course, you want to be polite. You want to be cooperative, because if you put up any resistance and you come across with a fucking attitude, that's just going to piss those folks off. And yeah, they might proceed to tear your place apart. And they might discover your preps, right? So that brings me into the whole next part of this discussion with martial law. And that is a decision would have to be made now to bug in or bug out, all right? And guys, you've watched my past videos and I am in the bug out camp, all right? I'm a firm believer, especially if martial law is declared, to get the hell out of Dodge, all right? I do live in an urban environment, folks. 6 months out of the year, I do, all right? The other half of the year, I do live in a trailer out in the woods, okay? But that trailer is a seasonal place. It's a seasonal property that I own or that I lease. And, my options are limited. So I do have a bug out location, guys. And my bug out location is secure, right? It is a shelter. It does have power. It's powered by a generator, and I keep most of my preps in my bug out location, all right? The last place I want to be is in a city, folks, or in an apartment, okay? It just makes sense. So with that said, referring to my notes here, let's talk about living in an apartment, okay? Let's say martial law is declared right now, all right? Here I am in the thick of it, in the city, all right? I know that right away my survival odds go way down, okay? And that's just a fact that I am in a high density area, okay? So this is why, again, it's crucial for me to have a bug out location. So now I got to worry about other people in the neighborhood here. Okay, I got to worry about other people in this apartment building here. All right. And when shit hits the fan, people are going to be looking for ways to survive. Okay. So for me, I am getting out real fast. All right. And here's the thing, guys. Time is of an essence during a declaration of martial law, okay? And therefore, you got to pay attention to these predefined markers, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, let's say like the food stamp system goes down, all right? And I'm bringing that up as an example because in a recent past, we did have the food stamp system go down, and we saw the response from those folks that are on food stamps, and they were ready to light it the fuck up, all right? They were ready to burn it down, okay? People were panicking, all right? And I'll use other examples that anybody can relate to. I live in the Northeast part of the country, so we're getting into winter here, and we get those snowstorms, those nor'easters, and you got the local news that comes on the TV, and that's all you're seeing plastered all over the news. Big snowstorm coming, and what happens? People rush out to the supermarkets. They load up on their frickin' milk and bread and all that crap, and it's like a pandemonium out there. So think of that. All right, everybody's been in that situation where they've walked into a supermarket and you couldn't even freaking move, all right, because people were running around panicking because, there's this big storm coming. So think of that frantic behavior, okay? Multiply that by 10 if there's a martial law declaration, all right? Multiply it by tenfold, guys, all right? And think about the fact that when shit really breaks bad, it's coordinated chaos when a snowstorm's coming, but when shit really breaks bad, you're going to see bad shit happen. You're going to see the carjackings, all right? You're going to see the looting. You're going to see people getting fucking mugged in supermarket parking lots of their groceries, all right? So there you go. Those predefined markers, right? Once you start seeing that shit happen, it's time to go. All right? Because again, once martial law is declared, it's a lockdown, folks. It's a lockdown. You got curfews. You can't get out. All right? They're going to be setting up checkpoints on highways. And you're just not going to be able to leave. All mobility stops, guys. All right? So, it's very important to pay attention to the predefined markers. And I'll tell you what, guys, I've mentioned this before, I get my news from independent media sites, okay? In other words, I don't put on my local news station and depend on them for the news, okay? Because basically what they're putting out there, if it's not propaganda, it's already too late, okay? When you're starting to see the mass looting and the people getting jumped in the supermarket parking lots and all that crap, guess what? The checkpoints are already set up, guys, all right? Very important, all right? If you take nothing else from this video, take that. Do not rely on MSM. Try to get your information and your news from independent media websites, okay? Can't stress that enough. So the point here is get out before those checkpoints go up or go down or whatever, all right? Because you won't be able to once that happens, all right? That's why it's very important to have that plan, all right? It's very important to have OPSEC, all right? It all falls together in one place here, all right? So there you go, all right? So folks, that's pretty much all I have for martial law and what to do, what to prepare for, what to expect, all right? I'd love to see your comments on this. If you do like this video, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Perhaps hit that thumbs up on the way out. And for you trolls, you can fuck off. All right? Matt Outdoorsman, thanks for watching.